Hi, I'm One Kidney Mike. I donated a kidney in February of 2025, and now I'm training to climb all 27 peaks in Montana that are greater than 12,000 feet to prove that kidney donation doesn't hold you back. Today I'm here at the Willow Creek Falls trailhead, just west of Augusta and a little north of Castle Reef where we were last week. And I'm gonna be climbing Fairview Mountain, which is just right over there. Today looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. In the beginning, there is forecasted rain towards the end of the day, so I wanna be kind of quick about this. There's gonna be some falls that I think are gonna be pretty spectacular. I've never been up here, but I saw some pictures on Google. I am feeling really good. I feel like the training is really going well. This past week, I did 2 runs and I set personal bests on both of those, which is great. Mind you, those aren't lifetime personal bests. Those are personal best since I've had the surgery, because that's the only time I've ever actually tracked any runs in my time. All right, let's get going. It is just absolutely beautiful up here. Those waterfalls coming up were pretty amazing, and the trail was really good, well maintained, which is great, because there was some spots on there where you could just see they had arranged the rocks to make the trail, because it was pretty much on a cliff. I'm going to be going off the established trail now. This is the last spot where I think I'm going to be able to get water, so I'm going to fill up my water bottles. Not as much as I would normally because it's cool today, even though the sun's out. It's actually just beautiful. And then I'm going to head up this ridge and head towards the summit. I've only gone up about 900 feet so far in a little over 2 miles, or about 2 miles. So there's still quite a ways to go to the summit, but now is where it becomes vertical. Well, I just made it to the top of that saddle, and that is where I came from right there. And this is where I need to go. The mountain is right here. So it gets even more vertical. Well, I made it up here to the top of Fairview Mountain, and I forget what the elevation is. I'll put it down below, but it is one spectacular view. So, show you around. Right over there is Castle Reef, where we were last week. That's the Sawtooth. Plan on going there either next week or the week after that. And of course we've got the plains of Montana, and you can see it's gotten a lot greener since last week. And then over here we've got Steamboat Mountain East and Steamboat Mountain. I think they actually have more snow on them right now. Last week it snowed off and on, which is probably why there's some snow on the backside of this mountain. Well, I was on my way back down, and I looked on the map that there was another peak that wasn't very much farther away, and it's not a labeled peak, so I decided to kind of head a little north and take a look. This is the peak that I'm talking about, this snow-covered one right there. It looks like on the other side there's no snow. I am going to attempt to get there. We'll see how it goes. I hope I don't regret it. It is currently 1 o'clock, so we'll see how we do. Well, I made it to the low spot between the peak where I was at and the peak I'm going to. Thought I would stop, take a little break, eat, getting a little hungry, thirsty before I start heading up again. So the down climb wasn't too bad. From there it was steep, but I think because it was not rocky, but it was mainly just soil with trees that were kind of widely dispersed. They weren't, really close together. So you just walk right through them. Pretty good down climb, I think, especially compared to how Castle Reef was just such a slog going down. Like I said, during that one, I would have been better off if I'd gone the same way I'd gone up, but that's okay. So I'm gonna eat some lunch and then continue on. There was already, it looked like some rain shower that went off on that peak. I've got rain gear, so that's not too big of a problem. It just makes it a little less enjoyable. I'm kind of a fair weather type person. So as a person who goes snowshoeing and 20-degree weather. Anyway, so I'm gonna eat. there have been all these pretty little flowers just scattered about as I've been hiking up the hill and up on top of the mountainside and the peak. Well, I just made it to the second peak for today. This one doesn't have a name. I'll put the elevation up on screen in editing, but this is nice. It was actually a really good hike. There wasn't really there wasn't a lot of loose rock. It was easy kind of walking. It was really steep in places, but not like crazy. And I really enjoyed this second peak. I'm so glad that I did it. It's 3 o'clock, so it took me 2 hours to get from over at Fairview. Let's see, I don't know if you can see it right there, over to where I'm standing now. And this is just absolutely gorgeous out here. So right there's the saddle that I have to make it to get back. You can see the sawtooths over there, and then Castle Reef right over there. I just went over the saddle where I meet up with where I came up the mountain to go to Fairview Mountain, and now it's all downhill, which is good because my legs are starting to feel it. I don't know what the total mileage is going to be when I get back, but right now I'm nearing 10 miles total already. I feel good though, especially since I'm on the way back and downhill. There's only a few really steep parts left, which are the really difficult parts when you're going downhill, because they, well, at least my legs start burning. But we'll just continue on. I just made it back to the main trail, so it's going to be pretty easy from here because it's well maintained, and I have to descend about 900 feet in about 2 miles, so not too difficult. And I'm still feeling good but tired. This is a great hike. Well, I'm back here at the trailhead after completing the Fairview Mountain ascent, and then another unnamed mountain that was next to it. I did a total of 13.2 miles during this hike, with a total of over 5,000 of elevation gain total. I'm pretty sure that this was like way more than what I did for the Castle Reef hike last week, but I have to say I feel way better on this hike. I'm very tired, but my legs are not nearly as sore. It didn't seem to be such a slog. I will say that a lot of it was spread out a little more than the Castle Reef Mountain, and the footing was also a lot better on the descent, which I think made a huge difference. But also I think that my training is really paying off, that I'm just starting to really build up my endurance, especially on these ascents, on the hikes and descents. So all right, I want to thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And I really hope that you have a great day.